Hey, my name is Michelle Dickerson, also known as Michelle with all the hearts. And today I would love to share a word of encouragement. I was on a call earlier today and we were talking about time management. And I thought I would just share a little word of encouragement by way of testimony, as always, of something that I learned back in 2008-ish, 9-ish, on my own journey of taking control back of my time and energy. So, being a stay at home mom of four kiddos means that you are running a household that is not necessarily something that can be fully taken under control. If you're a mom, you know. The kids' schedules and sporting events, school, there are things that come up with homeworks or activities. It all ends up being this spontaneous thing. And then also, you're working in taking care of the house and you're taking care of planning for the day. I mean, at breakfast, you're kind of already being asked what's for lunch. And then at lunch, you're already being asked what's for dinner. And then you wonder, when did I need to go to the grocery store? And then do we have any clean clothes to be wearing to go to the grocery store? It just continuously piles up, piles up, piles up. And so there was a time that in that season of life where me waking up to meeting the needs of everybody in my house. So waking up and the first thing the kiddos want is breakfast. So the first thing I get up is I'm grabbing my cup of coffee and I'm trying to figure out what are we going to do for breakfast. And it's just using whatever we have. It wasn't a planned out thing for the week of this is what we're going to have today and tomorrow, or 3 days this week I'm going to have this. It was just, okay, what do we got? What can we do? And so very much I just allowed what was available and necessary to dictate my day. And what that ended up looking like was continuous overwhelm because there wasn't a plan. There was no preparation. As far as preparation, meaning having all the things, but not having a plan to actually feel in control of all the things and to be actually really fully prepared for all the things. So it would be a spontaneous, let's just go to the park because kids are grumpy. So we go to the park, or they have so much energy, we're just going to go to the park. And that can take time, and then all of a sudden it's lunchtime. Well, what are we doing about lunch? So we'll just hit a drive-through, or we're running home and we're eating just whatever we could find to eat really quick because now we're really, really hungry and we're exhausted. Now we need baths because we've been to the park. So it's just this nonstop spontaneous thing. And then you realize, oh my word, it's Wednesday. We have Awanas. And now it's time for me to be getting dinner on because we have to leave earlier than a normal everyday day. But then the kids have homework. And so this was how I just kind of went with the flow and felt like this was being flexible and being actively in the moment. But really, me being actively in my family's moment was chaotic calm. I don't even know if I could really use the word calm because you're peaceful and it's not even peaceful. It's this just assurance that you're doing the best that you can with what you have and getting through every single moment is kind of how it felt. But you're so blessed. You're stressed, but you're blessed. You're blessed, but you are so stressed. Until there came a season where the Lord was like, we've got to start getting a little bit more disciplined with our time and our energy. Because what I was doing is chipping away at my basically heart and soul of energy and ability to be exactly what God needed me to be in my ministry role as a wife and as a mom. That was my absolute first calling. Of all the things that I did with the church or my own little businesses or my writing, my first priority and my first calling is and has been a full-time stay-at-home mom and wife. And I serve the local church, the local community. I serve my small, writing and business stuff on the side. They don't trump that. But in my serving in my mission field of my home, I allowed it to just be open, I guess, if you will, as far as just going with the moment, being in the moment and having fun, and we choose to do this and we choose to do that. And while that was fun, it was also stressful in that I could never really relax because every moment was met with the next need or trying to figure something else, the next plan, preparation, what needs to happen next, the next steps, and then having to back up sometimes or rush and hurry and stress about some things because now you haven't planned well. So what ended up happening was a big crash and burn, obviously, for me. The adrenal fatigue, just of being everybody's yes, everybody's go-to, everybody's need is met. I'm on top of everything, but I'm never resting and I'm never feeling like there was a calmness, if you will, because my brain literally would never shut off. My body would literally never stop moving. There was always laundry to do, dishes to do, errands to run, a kid's something to have a conversation with or play with, or settling a dispute between, four. There was those two. There was a season I homeschooled for a couple of years, and so that's just a whole different season. And so it was just nonstop. And it finally got to the place where I was just checking boxes. I was checking boxes for my family. I was checking boxes for my husband, my kids, the church, the community, the school, my friends, my neighbors. And then I had nothing left to check boxes for me. I didn't even have any more boxes checked for me because there was nothing really left of me to feel like me to do. Everything was what was expected from me that I had signed up to do. So big crash and burn, adrenal crash, that's exactly the season where the Lord was, hey, we're going to walk through this together. And that resulted in those anxiety attacks, the panic attacks where my adrenals, cortisol levels, they never would go down because I had gotten to the place where I was so always on the go, serving in the name of good intentions and excellence, obeying Proverbs 31. But I crashed and burned. And it was in that refining season. It was fiery. It was very isolating, but I needed that time out with the Lord to better understand how I could better serve Him and serving my ministry, which is and was my family. And that looked like putting the right priorities in place of meeting with Him first, asking what are His needs for me, what are my actual goals, what are my end goals with my family for the day or for the week, what was the heart principles that were more important than the things to check off the boxes, and how was I actually accomplishing the things that the Lord had called me to. And so learning to meet with Him meant also me being able to function well to serve my family. So time blocking with boundaries became a really big thing. And so I've talked about it on lives before where time blocking for me is an actual time, like from 5:30 to 6:30 or whatever, that this is what I'm doing, and because I had schedules at that point. When you have firm schedules and dates and times, you can time block. But I just wasn't time blocking anything. It was just, oh, that's today. Oh, this is today. Oh, no. Oh, what time is it right now? Now I have time blocking that is loose. There's space for grace. You know, I don't schedule myself out to have to run all day long because I understand me and that I need to have a quiet but fun but purposeful day every single day. So there's days where I can get really deep into thinking and writing and flourishing and praying and studying and just being intentional with the kids and just really like be super grounded into spaces. And then there's other times where it's play, it's fun, it's running errands, it's going, it's mapping out schedules, it's cooking, it's, you know, whatever. So there's different levels of every day, but what I do now is, and what I have been doing since 2009, is time blocking on the calendar the best that you can. Also, delegating and asking for help. As a stay at home mom, it does not mean that you are doing every single thing in the house. I had seasoned moms, Titus 2 is so important in this season, telling me, your kids aren't helping doing dishes, they're not helping set the table, they're not doing their own laundry, why aren't they helping you clean? And I thought, well, I thought that was my job as a mom. She said, but you're supposed to train them up. How are they going to learn and create disciplines and stuff on their own if they're not actively helping you or being with you while you're doing the things to learn and then also to appreciate and honor you in those things, but learning it for themselves too. So age appropriate, we started doing chore charts and they started helping me do the things, which also gave me time with them. So instead of me having to separate, I have to go and do laundry or I have to go and do dishes or go and do dinner, I could bring them in those moments with me to help me do the things. And that was actually really fun. So time blocking became a thing, delegating and asking for help in the family became a thing. And then two was guarding the energy. So time blocking my energy. I knew that whenever the house was going to wake up, I needed that hour to set myself and prepare myself the hour before. So coffee and Jesus before the hour before my family gets up. Then in the middle of the day, I blocked out time. So even when I had little ones at home, we all had room time. They would go to their room, I would go to my room and show the same discipline that, you know what, we just need to have some quiet time in the middle of the day. Because at some age, you know, they break out of that nap time and then it's just go, 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 go all day. And we forget how important that those nap times, break times really are. And so I started incorporating when they were toddlers, it was still 2 times a day, 30 minutes and then 30 minutes of just being in your room and you can color, you can play with your toys in your room, but you're not coming out of your room, including myself, for 30 minutes on each morning and then in the afternoon. And then as they got older and then they were off at school, even when I homeschooled, it was still finding the block of time. When they did go back to public school, mine became from 1 to 2 before they came home at 2:30, where I carved out that second break time for me. Because then when they came home at 2:30, 2:45, it was on for after school activities and homework. And then you got 4 kids all together again. And then the energy in the house is just buzzing. And then all the activities, sometimes in the house, sometimes outside the house, where we had to prepare for that on top of working in dinner in that, because now you've still got an 8:30, 9 o'clock bedtime. So it goes really quick. And then after the 9 o'clock is then cleaning up from the day and also time with the hubby and then shutting down the house and all the things that are required there. So it can very easily overwhelm you, but it really did help to set intentions for the day on every day of knowing what I needed to do, but also at the beginning of every week, getting the kids' schedules, seeing what needed to be done, preparing the meal plan for the week. I have a worksheet in my group that you can just fill out that can help you with that too, but understanding where I could double batch. Maybe if it was the chicken or if we did fajitas, I could double batch that and knowing that it would be Monday and then I could see we had a baseball game on Thursday. So I would already have the meat cooked for Thursday and I would save that, freeze it for Thursday. So being able to start getting more control and running it more like a I don't want to say the word business, but in a way it kind of is. You're running it like a ministry, you're running it like an organization and a business, however you want to look at it, so that you can see what you need to do in order to fill in those slots of what's necessary. So even grocery shopping became easier because I knew what I needed to buy. Then when I was cooking, I could look at the week and know where I needed to double batch, maybe just some, of the meats or the veggies or what we needed to do or what nights we had free to maybe go out to eat. So things like that really made a big difference in how I was able to guard my time and my energy so that I could breathe in my own home and be more blessed than stressed. Was it still stressful? Yes. Is being a full-time mom stressful? Of course it is. Life is just always going to be stressful because there's no amount of not needing you in the world, right? There's always going to be an invitation to get busy doing something. So it's up to us to seek the Lord first thing and asking Him, what are my priorities for the day? What are my priorities for this week? What do you have for me? Being flexible in those times where I know that I've allotted those break times that if I do need to do something, that I can either rearrange it or take care of it during those break times, or know that, okay, after I have my break this afternoon, after I have my coffee, then I'm going to get back into whatever. So for me, I know where my rescue points are throughout the day. So I hope this helps you if you are somebody who tends to get overwhelmed with your days, or you feel like your days are just driving you. I'm definitely not an organization guru. I have friends who are amazing. I would love to be more organized than I am. And I find that even in this season of life where my kids aren't little, I still have to be organized, but it's not quite as rigid as it used to be when they were little, and had so many more. I only have one at home now. So schedules look very different. My energy is very different. My intentions are very different. My attentions are very different. And my kitchen is definitely different. So although the one home is a teenager and he eats, the boy could eat. But anyway, so I hope this has been helpful to you, Mama, and just understand you are such a gift to your family and how much you do, but it is important that you take care of you and your personal priorities of meeting with the Lord and serving your family in the way that He has gifted you the time and ability and talents to be able to do that. And so just pray, ask for the help, prepare and be aware, but make space in your day for grace, and still have the flexibility to be in the moment, but just understand that you can guard those times that when you can be in the moments, they're much more calm and they're much more peaceful because you've allotted for it. You've prepared for those moments and those days of knowing, okay, well, I know that today this is what I had on the schedule. I'm going to go ahead and move this to tomorrow because my kiddo needs me today, or I have a friend that needs me today. And I'm able, knowing what I already have set out, that I can pick up Wednesday, put it on Thursday, or move it over to Friday. And even learning to not say yes, that's a whole nother story. Learning to say no, I can't today, but I can on Friday, because Friday I've slotted off, this X amount of time to be open to a catch up from the week. So how about Friday? We can go to lunch, or we can have a conversation, or whatever it might be, tackling a new task or a hobby or whatever. So anyway, learning to say yes in the right places, learning to say no in the right places is important. But ultimately, seek Him first and ask Him to lead and guide your day and your schedule. And I believe that you'll find more peace in that. So I hope this is helpful. If you need more organization stuff, I'm not sure that I'm going to be your guru girl for that, but I can point you to people that are, and there's tons of resources out there for organizational stuff and apps and planners and all that kind of stuff. But really, my heart was more of an encouragement to you to understand that it is important that you do look at your time and your calendar. So hope this was helpful. You are precious and valuable, and your time is just as precious and valuable. So use it wisely. Don't waste it. We are not guaranteed tomorrow. There is no guarantee for tomorrow. So we want to live with so much love and intentions every single day because we don't know what tomorrow holds. So stay in those moments and be blessed.